Me now is Shaun Vernesoni, former pitching coach for Trey Yesavage and the co-owner of Keystone State Bombers. That's a Pennsylvania-based training company for top-level players. Shaun, what did you make of last night's performance?
You know, it was a historical performance. It's difficult to put into words, but we're super proud of Trey. You know, most strikeouts ever from a pitcher in World Series history without giving up a walk. Most strikeouts by a rookie pitcher in World Series history. You know, this is an unprecedented outing in a lot of ways, but, you know, specifically with Trey being 22 and only being in the big leagues for 6 weeks, it's honestly one of the best outings, I think, in postseason or World Series history.
Okay, but you yourself, somebody who knows Trey, what's going through your mind as you're watching him deliver a game like last night's?
I got to be honest with you. You know, sometimes it's a lot easier to be on the field than be in the stands watching. You know, I get asked all the time, you know, what do you think Trey's thinking? And I think he's a lot more cool, calm, and collected than a lot of us watching. So, you know, he had a famous quote that he said, "I'm built for this." And, you know, I'm unfortunately not. So being up in the stands for game one and, you know, being at home watching game 5 last night, it's just a whirlwind of emotions. But, you know, kind of living and dying on every pitch. But it's been unbelievable to see his successes and how he's able to handle the big moments.
There was one moment in the 4th inning when you see Alejandro Kirk come back from the catcher's mound and head over to Trey Yesavage and have a little exchange with him. What do you think was going on there?
I think he was just trying to, you know, maybe calm Trey down, you know, try to reinforce some things. I was a former catcher myself, so, you know, part of that relationship is very mental, and you got to have that personal relationship with one another. But I'm sure he was just giving him some positive reinforcement and telling him that he's going to be okay. Just stick to his stuff.
Okay, can we tap into your expertise, your technical expertise for a second as we look ahead to tonight's game, because the Jays are going up against Yamamoto.
Sure.
Tomorrow's game, sorry, not tonight, against the Dodgers. What needs to be the strategy there? Because when we saw Yamamoto last time pitch an entire game, he was a force to be reckoned with. So what do the Jays need to do tomorrow night?
I mean, that guy's unbelievable. I think they have to do exactly what they've done this entire postseason. They have to grind out at bats, try to get Yamamoto's pitch count up early, and honestly get him out of the game as soon as possible. You know, he's scattered a few hits and a few runs throughout his last 2 starts, but I mean, that guy back-to-back complete games, his last 2 outings, that's unheard of this time of the year. So, you know, it is in our interest, ours being the Blue Jays, to get him out of the game as quick as possible. We all know the Dodgers bullpen has struggled a little bit here, specifically in the postseason. So the quicker we get him out of the game, the better our chances are of winning.
Do you think because the batters have seen Yamamoto once, we might have better chances this time around?
You know, logically, yes, but that sure didn't work out for the Dodgers against Yesavage, right? He was even better in his second performance against them. So Yamamoto is a really interesting pitcher because he has such an extensive repertoire of pitches, right? He's a 5-pitch mix, any pitch, anytime. So, you know, speed differentials are crazy, meaning it's hard to get consistent velocities out of him because he mixes so well and he locates. He's not a guy that hurts himself much, meaning there's not going to be any walks, no free bases. So you have to beat him. He's not a guy that's going to beat himself. So hopefully second time through here, we'll have a better crack at him.
Well, no one would know better than you. Thank you for this, Shaun Vernesoni, former pitching coach to Trey Yesavage.